So I have this theory that I'm already dead. I think that I've died and this is the afterlife. And I know that seems like a wildly insensitive thing to say right now. I should really check my post-mortem privilege. But just bad things keep happening to me, like one after the other. For example, I reversed into my mailbox, my own mailbox, and I ripped the bumper off my car. And then I got it repaired, and then I did it again. And I'm a vegetarian, but my favourite food is ham, so that's really hard. But one thing that really kind of convinced me I was in hell was that the main thing that kind of like stabilizes my mental health is music. And I was in a band. I had a band. I was a songwriter, and I got a lot of joy out of performing and being with this group of people, but a couple of months ago the band split up for reasons beyond my control, and we had to cancel a whole bunch of gigs, and I felt really lost. Felt like a part of me had died. I just didn't really know what to do with my life or death, whatever. But even in the afterlife, I wanted to look for something, some kind of hope, because I'm here for eternity. And I do love music. So I decided to go to my friend's gig, and I asked her if I could please sell merch at the gig, because I didn't want anyone to talk to me, because I thought they would ask me questions about my band and when are you playing next, and there's no quicker way to derail a conversation than trying to sell someone something. So if they're like, what's going on? I've heard some things. You're like, do you want a shirt? $25. And I'm actually really quite good at selling merch, because even in the afterlife, capitalism reigns supreme. But one thing that keeps happening to me, because I'm dead, is that my phone, every time I take it off the charger, it pretty much dies straight away. And I had caught the train into this gig, and so by the time I get to the gig, my phone is well and truly dead, like me, kindred spirits. But I'm like prepared for this, so I had brought a phone charger. The only thing is, the only PowerPoint near the merch table is occupied by a large fan, and the staff in the venue tell me that the fan has to be on because there's like a weird smell in this part of the venue. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm in the third circle of hell where everything smells bad and I can't charge my phone. Classic. So I can't charge my phone, but I'm really good at selling shirts. And I start drinking gin because that's what a good salesperson does. Really good gin here tonight, actually. $8. I sell out of all the shirts and I'm really proud. And my friend's band plays this amazing set and I'm really proud of her. And I'm not jealous, but I am a little bit sad because I miss playing music. And at the end of the night, I hand over the takings and she says, do you want to come to the after party? And I politely decline because I don't really want to talk to anyone. I just want to go home. And so I slip out and I don't say proper goodbyes to anyone. And at this point, as I'm walking up the steps out of the venue, I remember that my phone's dead. And I can't call an Uber, can't call anyone. The reasonable thing to do would be just go back down to my friends and get them to call me a cab or something. But I decide, because I'm dead, that the best thing to do is just to walk through Fremantle to the train station. Even though I don't know what time it is or if a train is coming soon, just seems like the rational thing to do. And as I'm walking up the steps out of the venue, I hear footsteps behind me. And there's a man, and he is tall, and he has a ginger beard, and he's bald, and we're waiting at the traffic lights together, and he says, hello, and I'm like, hi, in the tone of voice that one has when one's phone is dead and a stranger is talking to them in the middle of the night. And he says, what are you doing? Why are you walking alone at night? And I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's not that far to the train station. I'll be fine. And I say, where are you going? And he says, I'm just going into Freo. I'm like, okay, this is good. He's not going to be with me like the whole time because he'll get off like in central Freo and then I'll keep walking and it's fine. And I'm also like, he was just at the show that I was at, so he's probably not going to kill me. And I'm dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then he says, I'm just kind of worried about you. Like, what are you going to do when you get to the other side of the train station? And I was like, oh, it's fine. I live in Bayswater and I actually live on the same street as the train station, like 500 metres. So it's really easy to get home because I'm really good at telling people really specific information about where I live. And he says, 500 metres? Something bad could happen in like 1 metre. And I'm like, true. Something bad could happen right now. And I ask him what his name is. And he says, it's Jack. And I ask him what he does. And he says, he runs a construction site and he's a manager and he only hires people who are disenfranchised and need a second chance. And I'm like, wow. And he says, you don't need to worry about me because I'm a dad. I got 2 kids at home. And I was like, what circle of hell am I in now? Is the devil a dad who runs a construction site and has 2 kids? And then I start thinking, is this man just going to get on the train with me? Am I going to fuck a dad tonight? And I realise that we've walked kind of like through the main part of Fremantle now and he's still with me. And so I think, mate, aren't you going to go meet your friends? Aren't you going to go to your other thing? And he's like, no, I want to make sure you get to the train. And I can see the train in the distance and it's shimmering and it's docked at the station, but we've still got a fair way down Market Street to go. And I say, just my luck, I bet that train will pull away before I can get it. And then he starts running and he runs up ahead and he says, 12 minutes, you could have a tea party in all this time you've got. And I run to catch up to him and I'm thinking, how can I save this man's number? My phone's dead. And we get to the train station and then he says, get home safe. And he gives me a hug. And he disappears. And I think, I'm a little disappointed because I have a 1-hour train journey to Bayswater and my phone's dead. He was the white knight of Fremantle light. He'll make sure you get home all right. The white knight of Fremantle night. White knight of Fremantle nights. If you've got darkness, he's got light. The white knight of Fremantle nights. And maybe I'll see him in another life, but all I've ever wanted is for someone to be nice. A couple of days later, I call my friend Tessa and she thanks me for selling all those shirts at her gig. And I say, hey, did you know anyone called Jack at your show? And she's like, yeah, my friend bought a guy called Jack. He was tall and he had a beard and he was bald. And I was like, yes, this is the guy. And she's like, yeah, he's a chef. I was like, no, he ran a construction site. I'm sure he told me that. And she's like, oh, maybe a different guy then. And she's like, how old was he? I was like a dad age. She's like, what do you mean? Like 30, 40? I was like, I don't really know. He was kind of like timeless, classic. And she's like, Georgina, are you okay? And I say, yeah, I'm okay. I am dead though, like you. And she says, maybe you should go like buy yourself something nice. Like take care of yourself. And so I take her advice and I go to the place where sad people go, which is Cannington Carousel. I'm wandering around looking for face masks and meaning. And then I see this kid like run out of a store and security is chasing him. And then I see this man in front of me and he is tall and he is bald and he has a ginger beard and he has bags full of goods from JB Hi-Fi. And he sees this event unfold, the kid running away from a security guard, and he looks me in the eye, but he has business to attend to. He has to stop the crime because it's Jack. And he runs after the kid. He takes his shopping bags and he literally runs out of the shopping centre after these two people. And I don't know whether he was going to try and stop the events unfolding or whether he was going to offer this disenfranchised youth a job on a construction site or maybe in a kitchen. I don't really know. But I never got a chance to thank him. I was just like, it's classic Jack, you know? He rocks up when I'm sad and he proves that there is meaning in the world and that sometimes strangers are nice and they don't expect anything in return. And sometimes someone can be in Fremantle one day and Cannington the next. It's just a miracle. He was the white knight of Cannington Carousel, here to save us all from certain hell. He will pick you up where you fell. The white knight of Cannington Carousel, even if you don't know him very well, he will offer you all his help. And the white knight of Fremantle nights, I almost fucked a dad that night. The white knight of Fremantle nights. And maybe Jack is here tonight. And if your name is Jack, you're probably worried, right? But I just want to tell you, thanks for being so kind. And I made it home safe that night. And I really hope that Jack is doing all right. Because all I've ever wanted is for someone to be nice. Thank you.